All right, let's talk about a feeling we've all had, but one that is way more complex than you'd think. I'm talking about pride. It can be this incredible force that pushes us forward, or it can be the very thing that holds us back. So the real question is, what's the difference? That's what we're going to get into.
I mean, just think about it for a second. You know that moment when you've been wrestling with the problem or practicing something over and over, and then, bam, it finally clicks. You get it? That feeling, that powerful rush, that's what we're talking about.
And that feeling, well, it has a name. It's pride. And no, it's not a dirty word. Far from it. In fact, it's a totally natural, totally healthy, and actually essential part of how we learn and grow.
But here's the catch, and it's a big one. Just feeling proud isn't enough. To really make it work for you, you have to understand it. You've got to balance that feeling of pride with a kind of wisdom about pride. And that's the core idea we're going to unpack.
So first up, let's look at the good stuff. I want you to think of healthy pride as this incredible engine. It's the thing that drives you forward, on that journey of getting better and learning new things.
So what exactly is healthy pride? Well, it's not about thinking you're better than everyone else. Not at all. It's more like an internal reward system. It's that satisfaction that comes directly from your own hard work, from something you've actually achieved. It's the pat on the back you give yourself for putting in the work.
And this engine, it runs on some pretty amazing fuel. First, there's motivation. Pride makes you want to take on the next challenge. Then there's confidence. It builds up that self-assurance so you start to trust your own skills. And maybe most important of all, resilience. It gives you the strength to get back up when you fail because you have this deep down memory of what you're capable of.
And this quote, it just nails it, doesn't it? Constructive pride isn't just some fluffy, feel-good thing. It is literally the fuel that pushes us from one accomplishment to the next. It's what keeps the whole journey going.
Okay, so we've got this super powerful engine. But an engine without a steering wheel, that's a recipe for disaster. That's where the other half of this equation comes in. We need a guidance system. We need a compass. And that compass is the wisdom of understanding pride itself.
And this is where the distinction becomes so clear. See, healthy pride, it's all internal. It's about your effort, your growth. And that focus keeps you open to learning more. Arrogance, on the other hand, is all external. It's about feeling superior to other people. It makes you defensive, closed off, and always needing someone else to tell you how great you are. One is a quiet confidence, the other is a loud insecurity.
So when we talk about this knowledge of pride, what we're really talking about is self-awareness. It's that little voice inside that can tell the difference. It's the ability to ask yourself, hey, is this feeling pushing me to be better, or is it just feeding my ego? That right there, that's the compass.
All right, this is where it all comes together. The engine and the compass, they aren't two separate things you choose between. They have to work together, in sync. Real wisdom, real growth happens right there in that sweet spot, in that perfect balance.
It's a fair question, right? Because it's one thing to talk about balance, but it's another to see what happens when it's just not there. What happens when you have one without the other? Let's take a look.
Okay, scenario one. Imagine our engine is roaring, just full throttle. But that compass, we've tossed it right out the window. We've got all the pride in the world, but zero self-awareness.
And where does that lead? Well, it's a one-way street to arrogance. You get so wrapped up in what you already know that you just stop listening. Your knowledge isn't a tool anymore. It's a wall you hide behind to block out any new ideas, any criticism. And just like that, learning grinds to a total halt.
All right, now let's flip it completely. What if you've got the compass? You're super self-aware, you know all the dangers of ego, but the engine is just dead. You never let yourself feel that sense of accomplishment.
This is a direct path to self-doubt. You could have amazing skills, you could know so much, but you just don't have the confidence to actually use it. All that wisdom just stays locked up inside because you don't trust yourself enough to act. And honestly, that's just as big a waste as arrogance.
So, you see, the goal, the whole point, is harmony. It's letting your pride in what you've accomplished give you confidence, while your understanding of pride keeps you humble and keeps you open. The engine pushes you forward, and the compass makes sure you're heading in the right direction.
Okay, this all sounds great, but how do we actually do this? How do we take this idea of an engine and a compass and make it work in our actual lives? Well, this final part is all about that, how to fuse the two together. And it really breaks down into a simple 3-step practice. First, just acknowledge your wins. Let yourself feel proud of the hard work you put in. Second,
Check in with yourself every now and then. Just ask, is this feeling helping me grow? And third, and this is the big one, always stay curious. Actively look for chances to learn and assume you don't have all the answers. I think this final quote just sums up the whole idea so perfectly. It's all about finding that dynamic balance, having the confidence that comes from earning your knowledge, but pairing it with the humility of knowing that you are never, ever done learning.
So I'll leave you with this to think about. The next time you're facing a challenge, the next time you're learning something new, which one are you going to be listening to? Your engine, telling you to push forward, or your compass, guiding the way? Of course, the real trick is learning how to listen to both at the same time.